Welcome to Mark's Motorsports and Farming channel. This video is the October 2025 channel update. And start with motorsports here. As of now, it'll be a while before there's anything new to film, so. And got the last tractor pull of the season filmed this past weekend, or at least that's, you know, fairly close to this area. Any others that there might be would probably require a lot of travel. But like I said, this past weekend I filmed the last one for the season, you know, that I know about, so there's still plenty of that content to come yet, because that's one of 4 polls that I haven't posted yet. So those of you that like those type of videos, you know, there's plenty coming yet. So yeah, and I believe I'm down to 2 videos from the poll that I've been posting lately. You know, and then I can, you know, move on to posting the next poll that happened after that. So, and then same way with the races too. I'm starting to get down there on that particular date of racing, and then there's also races that happen the day before that, you know, I'll be posting too. So that's all I know of as far as the motorsports goes. And on the farming front, as you can see, the soybeans have pretty much lost their leaves this time around. Where I believe the September video, a lot of them still had leaves, in which these soybeans were getting pretty close to being ready to harvest before we got into another rainy pattern this week here. So that's why you'll notice when I go towards the other field here, put a little water where we cross over, and that's why, because otherwise they probably would have been ready to harvest this week now, had we not gotten rain, you know, 2 of the last 4 days. So this is filmed on October 15th, and it'll be posted on October 16th. So, you know, it gives you kind of an idea. So I know there has been a lot of soybean harvest that happened, but you know, those guys were fortunate enough to be able to plant a little sooner than I was too. Well, a lot of them. So that certainly plays a factor too, as far as, you know, how long it takes for for a soybean plant to dry. And here you can even see one that has a leaf on it yet. What that'll mean as far as moisture content once it dries out enough for me to give it a try and, you know, see what that moisture reading actually is. You know, it's hard to see. Yeah, probably won't happen this week, you know, because there's rain in the forecast, you know, a couple more days this week, and hopefully that's the end of it for quite a while, you know, so the ground to dry out to where the combine doesn't sink trying to get them out, and get the soybeans themselves to dry down again. So that's pretty much it as far as the soybean crop goes. There will be maintenance videos coming as well, you know, so we're there too. We just seen, you know, dry days with no wind, you know, so I can get those videos done. Cause yeah, there might have been a few days where I could have done some of those videos, but, you know, the wind would have blown the camera over, you know, sitting on the tripod like I normally do when I film those videos. So. And I mean, I guess another option would be to, you know, just do it and then show you guys later, but, you know, then for pretty much those of you that watch that aren't too familiar with farming, that wouldn't be the same thing as me actually doing it during the video like I normally try to do. So I mean, I have done that already, but I'd rather just do it during the video than you guys can. And those of you that aren't as familiar with farming, you know, can know what to do and maybe apply it to something that you guys have, you know, that needs grease once in a while, if nothing else. So and then the corn I'll show you when I get there. But the cobs are starting to hang down, which is a good sign that's, you know, might be ready to harvest as well. Yeah, I'll show you that when we get there. And then I'll probably do an educational video on tractors, so that'll probably be the next video that you see after this. There again, for those of you that are you know, learning about farming and aren't familiar, you know, and that should be of help, you know, watching that video to understand the equipment a little better. Ignore that trailer that you maybe just saw. And then, as far as cattle, the good news being, I found one, and the not so good news being, I found one. So, yeah, it would have been better to have more than just this one, just to, help to, keep them in the pen and so forth. So, and yeah, at the sale that I got this one at, I did try to get a couple more, but it's, would it cost a price that where you can pencil the numbers out, and the way that feeder cattle are lately, you wonder how some of those guys expect to pencil out with what they spend on them. But this one, I think I can pencil out reasonably well. With marketing them as for freezer meat. So yeah, that's why I don't want to get too carried away buying cattle right now, just because if you have to sell them as live fat cattle, then will the market be as good or better than it is now, or is it gonna drop it, or is it gonna go down, and nobody really knows. But we at least got this one to market as freezer meat in early spring, so certainly a start, and hopefully I'll be able to find a couple more or so soon, to get this one some company. So there's the update on that. Now I'll walk over to where I have the corn and show you guys what I was talking about earlier with that. And then I wish I would have thought of it sooner than I did. Could have showed you guys what I was talking about with our farming friends' corn. That's close to that first soybean field I showed you guys. But anyway, you'll be seeing it with my corn. What I'm talking about here. Some of these are only like this one here is only dropped halfway. And yeah, I don't know that black is, if it's rust or what for sure, but yeah, I have heard in Iowa that a lot of the farmers that have corn down there have had trouble with rust. So whether that's happening here or not, I should almost pick one off sometime and show one of the agronomy people I work with and see if they think it's that or something else. But yeah, when you see this, you know, and when they hang down like that, then you know they're done producing grain. You know, so whatever's on that cob is, you know, what's going to be harvested. And then, yeah, this one that's half, the camera's picking up, and you can, you know, when there's a dent on top like that, and that's also an indication that there's no more growth, and that's, you know, close to being ready to harvest at least. And I think this is a little more manageable. You know, you can always pick a couple off and hand shell them, and you know, check moisture that way. But and another little educational tip on that is that, you know, if you hand shell a corn sample, then you can pretty much count on the overall moisture being 2% more than what the moisture tester shows. You know, just because, you know, that's how much different it is. You know, having, you know, two or three cobs be part of your sample versus several cobs, you know, by running it through the combine. So but with that being said, I don't really know of any more news right now. So that's gonna do it for this video, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. We thank you guys for watching. That's certainly appreciated. Be sure to click on the like button, and if you haven't already, be sure to click on the subscribe button. Once you're subscribed, then be sure to click on the bell. You'll be notified whenever a new video is posted. Be sure to follow Mark's Motorsports and Farming channel on Facebook as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you later.